I'm reading from Mark chapter 1. Verse 40 says, "A man with leprosy came to him and begged him on his knees, 'If you are willing, you can make me clean.' Filled with compassion, Jesus reached out his hand and touched the man. 'I am willing,' he said, 'be clean.' Immediately the leprosy left him, and he was cured. Jesus sent him away at once with a strong warning. 'See that you don't tell this to anyone, but go show yourself to the priest and offer the sacrifices that Moses commanded for your cleansing as a testimony to them.' Instead, he went out and began to talk freely, spreading the news. As a result, Jesus could no longer enter a town openly, but stayed outside in lonely places. Yet the people still came to him from everywhere." The story says that the leper came and he was begging Jesus, "You can make me clean. I believe you." This is really before very many of Jesus' miracles had been done. People didn't really know who Jesus was yet. And yet this man, this leper, came. Now, to understand the story, we have to understand what it meant to have leprosy in those days. In those days, if you were a leper, you had to stay outside the city. You had to be out by yourself because people were so afraid of catching it. It was really the first part of social distancing. It was they shoved them out, and they were outcast. They weren't allowed to come near people. If they were walking around trying to get food or whatever, they had to yell, "Leper, leper," because they wanted people to know that they were inflicted with this disease, and they had to stay away. People ought to stay away. They had to social distance from them. I don't know if it was 6 feet or any of that sort of stuff, how far, but it was that sort of a deal. And Jesus, filled with compassion, it says, reached out and touched him. Now, to touch a leper, especially for Jews, in the law, if you touched a leper, then you were unclean as well. But Jesus touched him. He had compassion on him, and he touched him. He healed him. It wasn't anything more than that. It just says he touched him. He says, "I am willing. Because I have compassion for you, I am willing." And so Jesus wants to touch us. He wants to meet us where we are. He isn't scared of getting the leprosy from us, because he is Lord even over the leprosy. He's not scared of getting the coronavirus, because he is Lord even over the coronavirus. And so Jesus wants to come to you today and touch you, make you whole. That's what healing from leprosy did for this man. It made him whole. It made him so that he could be back into society. Not just the physical healing, but it made him be able to go back into society. It made him whole because of what Jesus had done for him. And so today you may feel like you are burdened, like you are that outcast, that people are social distancing from you. Maybe even you feel like God is social distancing from you. I encourage you today to reach out and ask him, beg him. You don't have to beg. Jesus is willing. He wants to have compassion. He loves you so much, and he wants to touch your life wherever you need it. Don't be afraid. He's not afraid of catching what you've got. He wants to heal you and make you whole. And then the leper, Jesus tells him, don't tell anybody, just go to the priest, do what you're supposed to do, present yourself, make the sacrifices, and go on and live your life. But no, he went out and told people. He couldn't help but tell people because he was so excited that he was healed and that Jesus had touched him. So it wasn't just about the physical healing, but it allows this man to be back into society with his family. Maybe he had kids and a wife and hadn't been able to touch them or see them for a long time. But now he is able to, because of the healing that God brought to him, not just physically, but emotionally, societally, and spiritually, and He wants to do that for you today. So I encourage you today to celebrate what God has done for you. I want to sing for you this today, this song written by Bill Gaither, and it's called "He Touched Me."